You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
We have to keep the people happy.
Apparently, that's the only thing worth a fuck.
Yeah, according to Mikey.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mikey. And welcome to this week's episode of the Couch Potatoes.
I don't know.
I'm Alex
Morrison.
And we've got Cristy Phillips back with us this week.
Hello.
And yes, Mikey, we did go to the antique malls, as you heard us talking so politely about you before this microphone turned on. But no, it's been a hot minute since we've had an episode. It's been about a month. Decent amount of stuff's kind of happened over here. One of the first things was Chris, you recently got back from being in West Virginia.
Yeah, Rim Rocks. The 4th annual Rim Rocks happened. Me and Mikey Black went up there, had a great time. 2-day event. So many bands, all of them fantastic. 7-Year Witch, Truck Stop. Shout out to them for doing a lot for Brad all the time.
Oh yeah.
But no, great time all around. Even during the downtime when there was no music being played, it was fantastic. This was the first annual Truck Stop Games at Brad's place, and it's fucking hilarious.
What they do?
They played a bunch of games as you see on TikTok, but one was very simple. These are just playground games that kids should be playing, not adults who've been drinking should not be playing. One was so many people lined up on one side, so many people lined up like they're about to do dodgeball, but instead of balls in between, it was cones.
Okay.
You set up the cones, and on the count of 3, you grab a cone. Whoever doesn't have a cone is out. Immediately, the countdown starts, and someone shatters a cone.
Oh my god!
And I'm just like, hell yeah, let's go. Another one was it was kind of like Foursquare, but you're holding brooms up, and you got to catch the broom before they drop it. So you're rotating people in 4 squares to jump and leap toward a broom to keep it from hitting the ground. Each one's holding it, but as soon as the countdown stops, you got to drop it, and someone's got to catch it, and you got to catch the next one.
Damn.
It is hard.
That sounds hard.
And it's super athletic. It's like the Olympics, guys. Watch the Olympics this year. They're fantastic. America's going to kick some ass. But they had one where everyone ran at a good amount of speed downhill toward the pool and had to do a special trick into the pool. It was fantastic. Shout out to Logan for being the funniest one, because it was just like a flop, and it was fucking hilarious.
And side note, if at any time during this recording you guys hear the traditional changeover static noise edit I make, is because we are having some flickering lights like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
We might lose power for a second because people don't know how to drive in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's been a rainstorm today, and yeah, I was thinking we were gonna kind of be past that, but no, in the process of even just recording the intro here, the light has dimmed a little every so often. Yeah. So forewarning, if one of us gets cut off mid-sentence and you hear the changing of the radio sound, that's what happened.
That's great for like Halloween, but for summertime, no.
We're not trying to have cursed episodes in July.
I'll be bringing some tarot cards, a Ouija board in this motherfucker. Hell yeah.
But yeah, so got back from that, and then yeah, finally back this week, and we went out antique hunting and didn't really find too much this time around.
No, me and Cristy on the way down though, we stopped at 2 spots. We stopped at Lake Norman Antiques in Mooresville. Beelined for one item, for 2 reasons. One, that's the only thing I was going to buy. Second reason, there was no air in the air conditioning in that whole fucking place. And as soon as we walked in, it was hot inside as it was outside, because it's hotter than the devil's dick outside. And Skinner's playing. I'm just like, let's rush. Let's just go. Let's just go. I'm trying to get it. I'm in a hurry. I know they
give me 3 steps.
The only time we stopped was because a guy at the front counter wanted to talk Batman Forever with us.
Because that's what you got.
That's what I got. And I was like, hey, man, last time we were here, we saw some Batman glasses. He's like, I still got one back here. I'm like, yeah. I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, dude. It's hot as shit. I've only been outside my car for like 0.5 minutes, and I'm just like burning the fuck up. And I casually curse when I'm in public, and the nice lady up front is like,
yeah, she was clutching her pearls,
like nervously, like laughing, like, oh my god, this guy's very open about cussing in front of me. I'm just like, oh man, Batman's the fucking shit. Yeah.
Why does cussing still make people so uncomfortable?
I think it's more small town people than anything.
Yeah,
I see it on Facebook though. Like people will like comment and say like shit or fuck or something, and there is always someone on there. You shouldn't use such profanity. That's so rude.
But it's Facebook, so you kind of need to. That's Facebook.
I'm just pulling a second example because the first example apparently wasn't good enough, and neither is the second one. So fuck me.
People get sensitive about whatever the fuck they want to be sensitive about. But anyway,
I just found
and
it
everybody's
ridiculous.
sensitive on Facebook, so that's just a rule.
Anyway, we boogied on down to Huntersville, hit Video Gaming World. Cristy had never been, and
I fucking love that place, dude, so much.
It's so awesome, but if you're broke, it's not awesome.
Yep, and one of us was broke, and it wasn't you. So of course I saw everything I wanted.
Well, that's the pattern. Every time we go to one of those places, Chris is fucking money bags over here being like, I think I'm going to buy an Xbox. And both Christy and I are over here being like, I like this $2 trinket.
Attack the guy who saved money. Every time, just attack that guy.
What attack? I'm
Moneybags McGee, I believe, was the term in the Concord Mill.
Yes, sir.
Moneybags McGee gave me some Mick Irish name.
You bought 2 game consoles, bro.
Bro, I'm investing. You're acting like it's not weird to have 17 fucking Game Boys on a shelf.
I will talk about that in a minute.
Hey, I bought a bunch of rocks that day.
Yeah, she bought rocks to realign some chakras or whatever the fuck. Whatever makes you happy. You bought fancy rocks, you buy Game Boy Pockets, and I buy consoles and guns and whatever the fuck I feel like buying that day. Random Parker Brother board games based on movies that are terrible.
Suck on my dick.
Just
Moneybags McGee.
Just like everything else that I looked at today, I know exactly where all of it is when I go back when I have money.
We can make that a shirt. Moneybags McGee on the background says "fuck them," and it'll be the best fucking shirt. I'll wear that every time we go antiquing. No overshirt at all, just that.
Oh God.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
I'll make a wife beater out of it.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't rock a wife beater. No, I'm not that asshole. No one wants to see this fucking Krampus tattoo and a fucking shamrock on my arm.
And you wonder why I called you McGee.
Yeah, McGee. Yeah, it's not like Morrison's not a name, but
Nope.
whatever, Mr. Thompson. But no, we went to Video Game World, and I've been on the hunt for a game for someone else, and it was RoboCop versus Terminator for the Sega. But we've never really talked about it, but like Sega products are not in demand.
No.
Sega Genesis, none of that stuff is really high in demand.
Except for the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, yeah. But I think that was because it was like during that time of the console wars where it was just like very niche heavy. Like this one's got a Tamagotchi that goes into the fucking controller, and it's like that's
And
neat.
it's $150 overpriced.
Yeah, that's neat. It's fucking neat, and the controller's neat. But Xbox and PlayStation, Nintendo buried you in the backyard. No one gives a fuck. But no, like Sega stuff is not that expensive. I bought the Terminator game, arcade game, for like $15. It was still on the box and had the book. So like that is insane.
Yeah.
You know, as compared to like some of the Nintendo games we've seen go for $60, $70, or even $100 still in box with the book and everything. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's hit or miss. But like Sega's always on the down end. So like if I was
Well, as we've already said, Sega was for the house smokers.
yeah, the friends whose parents smoked in the house and had cats, they had Sega.
No, they had the Rottweilers and the Pit Bulls.
Yeah, they would have one cat. That
Uh-huh.
I was like, where's that
It
cat?
was an indoor-outdoor cat.
Yeah, also known as a feral cat. But yeah, but no, we came here, grabbed you, went to Micro Center.
Yes, went back to Micro Center after my traumatizing first experience.
Yeah,
But then Christy had a traumatizing experience and almost got trampled.
There were too many people around the headphones. I ran away to the backpack section where there was no one. It was nice.
no one buys a backpack from Micro Center.
And I came over because I just saw you cowering in that little section. I'm like, hey, you're like, I almost got trampled. I'm like, you're okay over here.
But,
There was no one. It was nice.
Well, no, I was talking to an older friend of mine from way back when, and we just just started bullshitting because we haven't seen each other in a very long time. And
Yeah.
that's always nice when you haven't seen someone you really, not really close with, but somebody you talk to a bit, and you finally see them again, and it's like a quick catch up, and then on your way. But no, they had great pricing on a lot of stuff. They price match, which I thought was crazy.
Interesting.
If you take it to the register and you pull it up on Amazon and they match the serial number, they will price match whoever sells it. So if you pull up Newegg or Tiger Direct or somebody who also does the same thing Micro Center does, they would price match it, which I thought was pretty on the up and up.
That is.
I did like the fact that the people that help you put like a little barcode on the product they helped you find, so they know which associates are actually working.
Yep.
That's the best fucking idea that a store's ever had. It's like, who helped you? Tim fucking helped me.
Well, see, I wonder if there's a commission thing with
it probably is, but I imagine it's also making sure everybody's working. It's just like, because they work quick on the trigger to help us.
Very.
The guy was very nice. He understood what I was describing. Got what I needed.
Yeah.
We will be going back
Yeah.
quite a few times, probably in like 2 weeks for another paycheck run.
Well, see, I didn't fully know what time you were even going to be coming through this weekend or anything, but so I had to already buy like some AV cables and shit for the retro consoles upstairs. So it's like the Amazon package for that was coming today, and then you show up and you're like, "You want to go to Micro Center?" I'm like, fuck. I wish I knew that yesterday before I placed that order.
Don't feel bad. They had a whole section for camera stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they have what's really cool is like the curated way it's done. It's kind of like a warehouse. You are getting like displays of some of the technology they're selling, like the two guys on race cars.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Fairly cool display. Very high end.
All the clicky keyboards on display.
Yeah, and like
tons of the Raspberry Pi, Macs, Windows.
And that's how electronics place should be. Everything out in the open, so you can
3D printer.
Yeah, for like $120. Yeah, it is what it is. If we go down,
Just buy it and shut up.
If we go down,
With what money?
if we go down the 3D print thing, I'm stopping doing this, okay? Because I can't be doing both. All right, I don't have the time.
But the other will fund the other.
No, it won't.
You decide which is which.
No, I can't do both. I got too many hobbies. This is taking up too much of my time. The Xbox is now my new hobby.
Oh no.
Yeah, playing Xbox. I played like 7 games on that motherfucker already.
That's why you didn't come down yesterday and be like, hey, this got pushed like 3 days. Initially it was going to be like on 4th of July, and you're like, yeah, sorry, I don't think I'll be able to go today. It'll be Friday or Saturday. I'm like, word. I was like, you going to come down today? No, tomorrow. He's been on Xbox the whole time.
Yeah, because I've been off since Wednesday. And it's what, Saturday?
Yeah.
So, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, I've been doing what the fuck I want. And it's hot outside. Who wants to go outside? It's disgusting.
Dude, it was 100 degrees in Charlotte the other day, and I'm like, that's some bullshit.
That's what you get for cutting
It's not
down trees.
supposed to be fucking 100 in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's
It's not been 100 in forever.
Yeah, that's what happens when you cut down the trees in the city. But no, I will say this: I haven't paid for Game Pass in a very long time. Totally fucking worth it.
Really?
I got the top tier one, the ultimate, whatever. It's like $17 a month. I've downloaded 10 games and played all of them.
Damn.
And like, I've beat 4 of them, but like the other 6, just fantastic. It is kind of weird though, because it reminds me of how Nintendo does theirs. There's like some really good gems in there, or classic, and there's just like some. What the fuck were you thinking putting that on the library? But also that going into that, the one I have, the Xbox Xbox One, the games are cheap as shit now.
Really?
For that, because I noticed when we went to Second and Charles, which was our next stop, or no, the Stevie Poe was our next stop, but yeah, they're cheap there too.
Huh?
Yeah, just for Xbox, because the Xbox One XS or whatever, the brand newest one, is the one that's really drawing everybody's attention. That and the PS5. So
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I saw Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a high dollar game, for $15
That's good.
for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a top tier, $70 game. Yeah.
So would you say that the Xbox Pass or Nintendo Online's better, where you get the Game Boy games and 64, Super Nintendo?
Nintendo is better because of the variety. That's always going to beat it. Xbox is Xbox because it's just this. Nintendo is, hey, you had our Game Boy, you had the Game Boy Advance, you had the SP. Let's drip feed you that. You had the Super Nintendo, you had the Nintendo. Hey, did you have a Sega too, or a friend with a Sega? Here's that too, guys.
Here it is without the smoke damage.
Here's the 60.
Do they play without the smoke damage though? Really?
Yeah,
It doesn't run quite as smooth. I do believe that it helps the cartridges slightly.
The tar helps the buttons stick and last longer.
I'm just saying.
But like the 64, and anything on the horizon for Nintendo is right there. So they have so much more to add to any of those. Xbox is just going to be Xbox.
Yeah.
For right now. Until PlayStation realizes, hey, maybe we should port some stuff over there to them. Which that's an actual thing that's happening. So that's fucking wonderful.
But yeah, and then Sleepy Poet, we didn't really find too much over there.
Who didn't? Who didn't find it too much at the Sleepy Poet?
I will say, I kind of like that one better than some of the ones we've been to, just because the way the layout is. Same as all the other ones. The music's fantastic. They were very good at separating a very particular thing. Like all the records that are in the back, guys.
Yep.
There's a few lots that have some records, but it's only like 1 or 2 boxes.
Yeah.
But the nerd shit's in the back. You like Pokemon cards, it's back there. You like comics, it's back there. Period. All of it in the back.
Weirdos in the back.
Yeah. Go get you an iced coffee and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which I thought was nice that they had that built in.
Yeah, they had a little coffee shop.
It was really good too.
Yeah.
What was it you got?
I got a frozen Irish cream with oat milk coffee.
There you go.
I just got a glass bottle of cheer wine. And went back and refilled it with water. And the lady watched me.
I saw her doing that. She was just like completely perplexed as to why you were doing
seen
that.
a poor person? You piece of shit. Oh, get fucked.
Sorry, it's not a Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah. They used to make those cups for minors. And now it's a fucking bitch cup. Jesus. Anyway, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to sound old.
I was going to say, we've also been down that trek.
Let me tell you something. It's all because of the beep.
And we'll be right back.
Mentos fresh for life.
Mentos
Francis. Wham! Kia! But no, it was a cool spot. And we checked out.
A lot of good retro furniture.
A lot of cool stuff in there. The globes out the ass. A lot of globes.
Lots and lots and lots of rocks.
And I'm pretty sure, we did have a little Price is Right game going there for a minute. Hey, how much?
That was fun to play.
How much do you think this piece of shit's worth? And it's just and it's the same thing at every antique mall. There will be a hodgepodge of something, like a vibe, right?
Yeah.
It's very curated, and then out of nowhere there is a rubber Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
Or there is like a TI-89 calculator that does not belong.
Yeah, for $12.
Yeah, Texas Instruments TI-81. And then we found that JVC radio TV combo.
Both of us were nerding out on that so hard. It was so cool.
This was a mini TV. The screen was probably 5 inches.
If.
It is going to be probably black and white.
Yep.
But it was a TV, AM, FM radio.
Cassette deck.
And it had a handle. And you could tell this was something that was probably in a transfer truck or an RV. Mm-hmm. Or
this must have been while I was in the rocks.
It was, and it takes like 10 C batteries.
Yeah, they were all wrapped.
Yeah, like it came in its own.
There.
Like so, you opened up the back to put the batteries in, but you also took out like a tube that you fed them all into, and then put the tube back in.
Which I say is pretty smart. That is pretty smart.
It is.
Because you'd never get them all in there the right way.
No.
Because you used to see people. We used to do it as kids. You stick 3 fucking double A's back to back, and then the spring goes click, boom, and shoots that motherfucker out like a fucking shotgun shell. Boom.
Yeah, and that's when you say your first cuss word.
God damn it!
And then you look for your parents.
What is this fucking bullshit? Just show it to them. Look at it. Look at this bullshit you gave me. It's garbage. But another one, it is a lot of old furniture.
Yes.
And one of them was a giant trunk. And
that was the coolest fucking thing, dude.
And I happen to have a key for those on my keys because I own a trunk.
And see,
you're welcome.
And in all seriousness,
well, no, I have like 5 of them.
In all seriousness, I thought when you were like, and I have a key for this thing, I'm just like, okay, Chris is just, he's saying his typical Chrisisms, and then all of a sudden, as I'm sitting here, I just hear, click, like, Motherfucker has a key to that thing.
Because I keep that fucking key on me.
He keeps that motherfucking thing on him.
Yeah. But no, it's old Foot Locker lock. That's all it is. You can actually just take a knife and jam that motherfucker in there.
And I was looking at it because that was another Price is Right question, and I thought that thing was like $500.
No, it was like $195.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking massive one. Cristy had gave me one not long ago with 4 wheels. It's very nice, but it has all the shelves built in them like the Foot Lockers usually do. This one, the one we saw, used to have shelves in it, I could tell.
Yeah, because it was so big and deep, it had to have had shelving in it. Like, otherwise it was impractical to actually store stuff in. It was so deep.
Yeah.
That's something you like having the like in the living room in the back corner, no one's really paying attention to, and you have like blankets and pillows and shit for people to stay over. It's fucking massive though.
No, what you do is you put the blankets and pillows in there, and then you also put an accelerometer, like vibrating machine in there with a remote control, and then just in the middle of watching the movie, you press it and you make it go tunk, 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 tunk.
Yeah, when you watch
Two kinds of people, folks. Two kinds of people.
when you're all gathered around in the living room playing with the Ouija board.
Exactly.
Give us a sign.
Oh, put the Ouija board on top of it and then press the button. Oh.
And then you have someone downstairs at the breaker box
Yes!
flipping the lights off.
Click, 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 click. Hey, Chris, you want to come over for Halloween?
It's like a
No, I know better than to use a Ouija board.
well, it's like those videos of the dad like he's like doing a TikTok and he's like my niece and daughter upstairs playing with the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And he
Yep.
goes, and he gets the
And you
break.
hear him scream.
Yep. But like any other antique place though, it's probably top 5 for me. It's it's
Yeah.
up there. It's one of the better ones. We would go back.
Oh, yeah.
Plus it's not that far
No, it's
from where
not.
we're at.
And see, and it totally snuck up on me because I've been looking for like retro and antique shops here in town, and I always saw that one, but it just seemed like it had nothing. Every time I just like looked at reviews and shit, it always just seemed like old lady crap in like a tiny building.
Yeah. Well, you recently went to a thrift shop and got some VHS tapes.
Not even a thrift shop, dude. So I went back to the Grid over connected to the Goodwill because I was just because remember last time we went, they had a whole bunch of the Nintendo 64 controllers. Flush out, just none whatsoever. I should have grabbed one when I was there.
All the kids are out of school and want to play the 64 now, apparently.
Yep. Yeah, so they were completely sold out. So I decided just to step next door and actually go into that Goodwill. And yeah, just right up on the wall for 25 cents each were VHS tapes. And the Batman one immediately caught my eye. I was like, oh, cool. I fucking picked this up for $0.25. Started looking closer. Goddamn, there's returns. Pick that up. Holy fuck, they have Airplane. Shit, yeah, Wolfman. So it's just like, okay, fine. I've got $1 worth of VHS tapes. And dude, they're in beautiful condition.
Yeah.
Like, because that was the thing too. I'm like, VHS tapes at fucking Goodwill. These things are going to be busted, moldy.
Or recorded over.
See, I hadn't double checked that. I hadn't checked that.
He puts that airplane movie and it just starts off as you know,
Chicken wow wow.
not even that. It just gets to the part where the plane gets hijacked, or the plane gets getting shaky, and then all of a sudden it's like, Karen, where's the lube? And it's just a voice in the middle, and she's just there, just going to town.
God.
Yeah.
But no,
That's why you don't watch VHS tapes without labels, guys. That's fucking dangerous. Don't do that.
I feel like you've done this.
No, because I'm not dumb.
I feel like you're speaking from experience.
No, because everything in my house is fucking labeled properly. It says Christmas on the goddamn thing. So guess what? It's fucking
You're pointing
Christmas.
at a stack of labeled VHS tapes.
I'm pointing at your VHS collection. I don't know what the fuck's on these things. These could be snuff films.
Well, they're all labeled.
Yeah. I digress. So we're snuff porn.
I mean, some of them do say the Dead Kings.
Yeah. So that could be a whole series of snuff. All of it better than the Glenn Danzig movie.
Or what was always sketchy when Mom would get VHS tapes back at the video store when she worked there. They would
These
have
cocksuckers didn't rewind this goddamn thing.
no, she would get the tapes back, but it would be they had been gone for a while, and she would get them back, and they'd have that little piece of Scotch tape and cardboard over that one piece on the back, and Mom would go put tapes out while I put this in the player
And watch it.
and see what this is. Okay. She turned the volume down real low.
What got me were people who like, because I worked in a video store as a young kid. and didn't get paid. And a lot of people who returned VHS tapes right before the DVD age, it was always the labels were all fucked up. They someone had marked out the label or something. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah.
And or fucked with the label or tried to tear it off. Like, you could tell they tried to bring it back, and it's like, you fucking assholes.
See, I have to be careful because I've always loved VHS stuff. I have to be careful because in doing my eBay hunting for deals and fun little trinkets and items, there's an entire subsect of people selling VHS tapes with the Blockbuster cases.
Yeah. Oh, that inventory is massive.
That really tickles the collector bug in me because it's like, it's the Blockbuster clamshell cases.
I bet you can take your ass up here to Vista Video over here. I bet they have some Blockbuster shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
In some cases without the fucking paper in them.
No, I want the paper. That's the thing. I want it to be and have the little "please be kind" and rewind sticker still on the tape itself and everything else. It's like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, I like Family Videos. It was just pastel colors, and it was always just green is for Xbox, purple is for GameCube, red is for PS1. And you could buy them. They let you buy them directly.
Yep.
And man, I have had some fucking luck recently when it comes to the Game Boy hunt because, again, as I've said a few times, I've given up on trying to find these things in the wild. It ain't happening after I found that one blue one. That was an offshoot whim. That ain't happening again. Scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, I find a green Game Boy, translucent, not the character, with a Game Boy camera. And both of those items go for a large amount of money.
Yeah.
The Game Boy Pocket, just that specific green one, if you go to eBay right now and type in Game Boy Pocket Extreme Green, you will find them going anywhere from in really bad condition to $150 all the way up to in nice condition for $2 to $3. And Game Boy cameras sell anywhere between $40 to $80. Both of them together for $60.
It's a fucking steal.
When I say I about shat myself because he wasn't offering, it was on Facebook Marketplace, he wasn't offering shipping. I felt like I was a fucking crazy person. I'm sure he felt like I was too, because all of a sudden at 11:30 at night he's getting this ping. Hi, do you still have this Game Boy? I'm very interested. I'm willing to make payment this evening, or if you can ship.
And that's always probably the good thing about buying from a website like that, or websites of this ilk, is the shot in the dark.
Yeah. And that's just what makes the hunt even more fun. And sure as shit, he's just yeah, I'll ship it out, no problem. He sent it in. As soon as I got it in, I cleaned up that Game Boy camera, listed that shit back on Marketplace, and sold it for $60. So, at the end of the day, I got a free $200 Game Boy. And that is just, I love shit like that. That is so cool.
I used to be like that about guns.
Yeah.
I find a great deal on guns every now and then, especially when a Democrat was president, because they just been going for a hot fucking sale. And I remember I bought an AR-15 for $500, which is 50% off basically. And it was right when Newtown happened. That is fucking brutal, dude. And then I found a handgun for $25 and a handful of something else, and I was like, deal, sold.
Yeah.
Cash on the barrel. A handgun for $25, that's a fucking steal.
Yeah, and
I ain't gonna tell anybody I have it.
and there's been a couple other things I have sitting waiting, because again, as I've mentioned, if you favorite something on eBay, sometimes a week or two later someone will send you an offer that's 25% off, and it's just okay, yeah, I'll buy it now.
No, you gotta be like my guy at work, man. Just put it out there, man, and it just comes to you.
Yeah, right.
No, motherfucker, I told you I saw it there. And I wait till we got paid and I went there and bought it.
Yeah. Asshole.
I didn't manifest a goddamn thing. I
just happened to show up.
What they you just bring that real quick is it happened to be there was the Carol Baskins figurine I found.
Yes.
Last time we went to Second and Charles, we go back today, and bam, it's still there, still in box. I'm just
that's the first thing you grab. You're like, yep,
yoink.
That's gonna look amazing on your shelf. It's so
that's not for me.
fucked
That's
up.
for my sister.
I thought you wanted it.
She's a fan of that bullshit. But no, it's Carol Baskins and her husband in a chain
On all fours.
with a leotard on. Hilarious. Because fuck her.
But I did throw a few other things in the cart, just kind of waiting. But before those come in, I purchased Star Wars Episode 1 collector cups. And I should have a few more of those sets coming in. And I completely forgot about this until I was doing the Game Boy hunts and it just showed up in the thing. There was this little game that you could play as a kid called Battle Poke. And they were little Game Boys that had this ball attached to it with a string. And if you press the screen on the little plastic Game Boy, the ball would launch. And if you launched the ball and knocked over the Pokemon figurine and grabbed the little token underneath, you got to collect it. And it was kind of like marbles, just with an auto loader.
Yeah, it's kind of like Pogs or something like that.
Yeah. And that was like one of the few games I had that I could actually play with the other kids on the playground with. And I don't know why, I just completely forgot about that thing. And I saw both of them $5 after shipping. And I'm like, I can't not get it now. Fuck. I saw it. I want it. And they're cheap. So unfortunately, I think I'm kind of going down the path of repurchasing things I had as a kid that I forgot I had.
That's what all adults do nowadays.
And the last good major purchase I made, because all these purchases I make on eBay are buy it nows. Because I cannot stand a fucking bid. I hate waiting till the last minute or you bid on it too early and then someone else sees it and they're like, oh, I'm going to outbid this motherfucker when it's 10 seconds left. Except I was that motherfucker this time. There was a 1980s Nintendo Power like tracksuit jacket, like little button up thing. And fucking amazing, beautiful. Sells on Marikai and Etsy and all these other retail shops for like $200. Grabbed it for $50, and it's a men's small. I am ready for the game convention.
I wanted to ask you, out of all the places we've been, what did you think of like their like gems and stones and stuff there compared to the other places we went? I know it seemed like they had a larger collection than anybody.
Yeah, Sleepy Poet definitely had a larger selection than anywhere that we've been to. I would also say that it was much more organized, and I didn't have to sit there and go, that this kind of rock or this kind of rock or this kind. Everything had labels.
Yeah,
which was nice.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a little bit more on the up and up.
I didn't have to pull my phone out and take pictures and be like, is this what I think it is or is this something else? Because I don't want to be lusting after the wrong thing. I don't want to be lusting after things I already have at home.
I did notice there was a lot of handcrafted stuff made.
Oh yeah, there was a ton.
Like a lot of like Chinese pagodas and dragons and jade and sapphire stuff. I always think that stuff are pretty neat because it's without breaking that fucking rock when you're like chipping away at it and it just shatters. You're like, well, fuck me.
I'll just jump off a cliff now.
Yeah, let me just make another one.
I had a full conniption fit. There were 2 chess sets. One was jade, and it was full green jade, and the other one was a lighter color, and it was a full chess set including a board.
Yeah,
and it was hand carved. Dear God.
Yeah, those are always cool. You see those in prisons a lot.
And then there was another one that was another full chess set with a board, and it was red carnelian and fossilized coral.
Damn.
With pieces, and I'm going, the time that you take to make this.
Yeah.
I mean, gorgeous.
And it could be yours for $3,000.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they had an elephant. That's maybe.
Was that the one made out of yellow jade?
Yes.
Yeah, that thing was massive. I remember we went to the Biltmore House one year for a field trip, and they had a chess set made of ivory. And I was like, damn, that is a lot of dead elephants to make that motherfucker. And
yes.
I was like, damn, that is perfect looking, though. I'm fucking Oprah rich. Give me one of them.
Yeah.
Oprah rich.
Oprah rich.
Don't give a fuck money. Yo, you want a Game Boy, motherfucker? I bought Game Boy, the company. Here,
They're
look.
not even a company. I made them a company.
I rebuilt that shit from scratch.
From scratch.
Oprah rich.
Bitch.
You gotta throw them hands.
But when y'all
Oh no!
Oh,
When y'all left,
You're talking about magic rocks to see what happens.
lights flickering.
for real. Yeah, when y'all left, and I walked around the corner, and they had all the different rocks with all the different labels and everything like that, and
Sorry, I'm not. I don't want to cut. Does it seem brighter in here now?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't just me. It like after the lights flickered, all of a sudden it feels a lot
fixed
brighter.
everything. Yay!
Yeah, the power grid is working better than it has before.
See, you talk about the rocks, things get better.
No.
And then all of a sudden it just gets brighter and brighter and,
then the
brighter
cops-
and brighter.
And the shit just shatters.
Yeah.
Everything goes.
Podcast over.
Anyway,
Sorry.
when y'all left and went away to go do whatever it is y'all went to
Man
do,
things.
nobody cares.
Sounds gay as shit.
I'm just saying. What y'all did was y'all's business. And I got done looking at all the rocks. I walked down about 3 feet and I took a left, and that's where the person who has all the rocks all over everywhere's main booth was. And that's where they had rings of all the rocks that were in all the cages. And I'm like, no.
Like get the power rings, just like.
I picked up one, and I'm like, this is going to fit me, isn't it? Sure enough, it did. I'm like, no! I do not need an $18 ring. But I do.
Yes, you do. $18? Come on.
I picked it up, and I'm like, I already have you.
Well, she's not Moneybags McGee now. Come on.
No, she's definitely not. But there was a woman behind me laughing because I had my phone out and I was typing in the different gems or the different crystals because I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And then I'm trying them all on. And then the one I didn't have to type in that I knew what it meant because I already have it, but it's a tower. I slipped it on and that sucker slid. I didn't even have to try.
Cinderella.
Slid right on my finger and I'm going,
Perfect.
slid it right off.
It was made for you.
Yep, slid it right off, put it right back in there. She goes, oh, you're not going to get it? I said, nope. I said, but I am going to take one of these business cards. And I'm going to walk right around that corner and go find my friends.
Well, you kind of had that similar situation in Second to Charles because you're standing there about the video games. I'm like, hey, man, there's an NES gamepad right here. A full gamepad.
Yeah, like the DDR, like big NES gamepad.
You know, the one you put on the floor and step on?
$20.
$20. I was right there with you, man. Man, I'll loan you $20. It's fine.
I couldn't justify it though. It's like that. I have to be able to. It's like, no matter how ridiculous my purchase is, I still have to justify it. The Game Boys are justified. I have played a minimum of hour on each of those systems now. It has been justified. I've been able to use it. That jacket, I'm gonna wear the bitch. It's retro. I don't care. I'm gonna wear it. That gamepad, I have nothing to play that on. I have no games that work with that gamepad. I can't justify it.
Hey, you think
I would just leave it rolled out. It'd just be part of a rug, and then it'd get ruined. Because I wouldn't want to roll it up and put it away. I just fucking bought it. I want to display it, but I'm not going to hang it on the wall.
Out of curiosity, you think there'd be a game on that new NES collection that'd be working on?
I don't know. Only, but at the same time, it wouldn't connect to that console.
Yeah.
It only has the plug-in for the original NES. We'd have to get like one of those track field games where you're like do the running and then have to jump over the things.
Get a Power Glove.
See, but I could justify that one because that works with all the games.
Or a Robbie the Robot.
And I can justify that because that's a display piece. I can't really display that mat.
No, you display that mat like it's the skin of an animal.
On what part of the wall?
The door. Look at what I've conquered.
So I was going to say, it's just like, for the folks at home that don't know, the office is wall-to-wall bullshit. It is all my stupid-ass bullshit up on the wall.
You got the ceiling, go for it.
That would ruin it.
I'm slowly running into the same situation.
Yeah.
I ran out of room to put stuff in. Like books, I've got no room for books anymore. I got stacks of books on the floor. I gotta buy a fucking bookshelf now. God damn it.
Is your bed raised off the ground, or is it?
I got stuff
or is it
under
a?
the bed.
Well, I was going to say you could get some rolling trays.
I do. I have those.
And fill them with the books.
I have them filled with clothes I don't wear anymore.
We'll start selling some clothes and
it's
buy some more books.
Because like a 90s cartoon character, I wear the same goddamn thing at days at a time. I wear a t-shirt and the same pair of pants for like 4 days in a row. I wear these or jeans. And
because you're not supposed to wash your jeans every day.
I don't, but I'm just saying that's all I wear. This or a pair of fucking jeans. I have like 2 pairs of pants. I have a third pair of pants I wear when I fucking feel like looking like a poor person.
All right, calm down, Moneybags McGee.
Moneybags McGee.
With all your fucking clothes over here. Ooh.
Oh, don't talk to me about too many goddamn clothes. I've seen your shit. Jesus Christ. Got a shirt for every fucking day of the year.
I ain't ashamed.
Yeah, fucking should be. To me, those are fucking rags.
Styling and profiling, baby.
I would like to try one of your shirts on and just go, rip.
I don't think they would fit over your arm.
Probably not. It's like wearing a child's small.
I was going to say, my pant leg would comfortably fit over your arm.
It'd be like that scene from Black Sheep where Chris Farley tries to wear David
Yes!
jacket. Tiny sleeves, rip. Man, that's a really nice Mario jacket.
I was about to say the end of the network. All of a sudden, like interrogation video style, it like clicks on. My arms are like tied behind me with like duct tape over my mouth, and Chris is like, "Hi guys, this is Chris Morrison, formerly of the Couch Potatoes and the Something Good Network. I've got Alex's brick." Ooh. And seeing the lights went back to normal. I told you it was too powerful. I knew it was too bright. I know my lights in here.
But the Glenn Danzig movie just playing in the background.
Please, no.
God.
I've still got PTSD.
This is Morse Jones.
Yeah, he's just like, and I picked up Alex's mail from the outside. This beautiful 1980s Nintendo Power Jack. Let's try it on. Rip, rip,
rip. Just put it in one sleeve at a time. Rip, rip, rip. It's the power.
As soon as Chris...
I'm manifesting it, goddammit. I am manifesting my hatred.
I know. The more Chris gets is describing this,
That's
like,
what me and Christy talked
I'm
about
not
earlier.
fucking around. The lights keep flickering harder.
That's what me and Christy were talking about earlier today. How much fun it is to hate someone. At least I was talking about it.
I mean, Christy started it.
No, I was talking about a kid I hated in school, and I still do.
What are you talking
And then
about?
she went, if that's bad, you should know about this one time. I stopped there because she's a teacher.
I will say
That doesn't need to be on the air.
I will say, second to Charles, it is hit or miss.
It is.
It is. I'm not really into Funkos. I kind of got all the ones I want right now. But I will say, like, books and such, they are a steal on books.
Oh, God, yeah.
That is a master set of books they got.
Mm-hmm. Like, used for like $2 to $5.
Yeah, I found some old sci-fi books. I have, but they were like $2-3 in better condition. But they were like $2 or $3 more, or $2 or $3, and they're still in better condition.
Yeah.
And some of the like no-name gems too. Like I'm a big sci-fi fan, so there's a lot of like no-name books that are just there that are hard to find on Amazon. Because I looked them all on Amazon, they're like $20-30.
Yeah.
For like a hardback copy, but this paperback copy still looks good. It's been sitting in between two books. It's crisp. You know, it looks great.
Actually, let me ask the two of y'all, because like for me, when I'm looking up like retro games, whether it be the Game Boys or the consoles, I'm not really wanting something that's like, you know, refurbished or like, you know, replacement parts. If I'm going to do it, if any of that gets done, I want to be the one that does it. When you guys are looking for specific books, does it have to be a hardcover? Can it be a soft cover? Does the outside wear matter as much? Like if the pages inside are pristine, but the cover's fucked up, does that judge if you buy it or not? I mean, where does the collection / allowance kind of end with you guys?
For me, you're talking to somebody who will very easily go to the Goodwill and pick up a well-loved, beat-to-hell book. As long as it's not ripped up, and I'll take a paperback every day. That'll be fine. If it's a hardback, I don't care. I'm not normally a hardback book person unless it's something that I'm going to keep forever in display and be like, I've got a couple biographies that I have read in paperback, and I'm like, ooh, they'd be really good to have on the shelf as a hardback for like, display purposes. But most of the time, if it's a well-loved, beat-up paperback, as long as all the pages are there and the cover's not totally destroyed, I'm fine.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
If the book's made before 1955, it's a hardback, because before then they made books a certain way that just held better. Like some of the books we saw at the Sleepy Poet, a lot of those very old educational books are very well made and still maintained. still have the binding on them because they were made better back then. They kind of went back because the paperback came out, and the paperback was something you could stick in the back of your pocket, go to work, go on break, read a few pages, put it back in your pocket, and they're perfectly sized for that. Paperbacks now are not. They've made them larger for larger print and stuff like that, but if it's like those little sci-fi books, yeah, paperback every time because they just like they fit perfectly in your pocket. And you just pull it out and read.
Yeah.
And
What about the quality, like the grading of it?
The quality, I don't really care. Like if it's like if there's a crease down the binding, I don't care. That means somebody has read it before me and has obviously enjoyed it because they fucking cracked that motherfucker open. The only problem I have is like she said, if it's just worn to shit, the papers are falling out because it is acid paper in paperback books, especially the older ones, and they will fade unless you put them in a bookshelf.
What about like if it's a new book and they have the option of a hardback or in the soft cover? What do you prefer?
If it's a book I've read and I've really enjoyed it, it's a hardback. Recently, I let Kat borrow a copy of my book Rant, and he took a very long time to give it back to me. So Cristy bought me one. It's a hardback, and I'm going to keep that forever.
Yeah.
But also, I'll keep compendiums as a hardback, collections woven together in one setting. Those are always the best. I think I got an Edgar Allan Poe compendium it's a hardback. I got a couple of Robert Heinlein's sci-fi stuff. It's Stranger in Strangeland and Starship Troopers bound together in one book. Lord of the Rings, always get a hardback collection of those because those are fantastic, and they'll never be bound to one book. There'll be always 3 books. So.
Yeah.
But if it's a personal favorite, yeah, it's a hardback every time. I'll probably never read it out of there, but I have it as a hardback for display.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But refurbished, you're not going to see a lot of people refurbishing books unless they are first edition books.
Yeah, I was mainly just using that as an example.
Yeah,
just my, neurosis of looking for like specific type of gaming things, if that kind of seeped into like the book collecting aspect.
It is the same
well.
though. There is a nice finesse when it comes to first edition books because no one's really fucked with the book, and by the time the second, third, fourth, or 17th edition of the book comes out,
rewrites,
somebody has gone in there and fucked with it a little bit, and I don't like that shit at all. So it's nice to have a first edition book because you can kind of go to the source material, but we're in the time of fucking the internet and YouTube. Someone can always point that shit out very quickly.
Yeah, that is very true.
Like you take a book by like Harper Lee and been like, oh, To Kill a Mockingbird first edition is off by a couple sentences by the fucking 15th edition that we read in school.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a reason, but it's fucked up.
I'm fairly particular about 2 kinds of authors, though. There's 2 authors that, if I get their books, I am particular about the way the books look, and that's Stephen King and Anne Rice. Because Stephen King's books have been reprinted and redone so many times that the covers look different.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And there's certain versions of the cover art that I want.
Got it.
That's the only time that I'll get.
And like
and Anne Rice is the same.
And I will say authors will go to different publishing companies and redo entire compendiums and sets. Stephen King has done this multiple times. He had one with Delay, D-E-L-A, and it was a publishing company that did like sci-fi books. So when his books came out, they were all paperback. They're all standardized level, and they all kind of matched. Had this nice black cover on the binding. The letters were white. His name was spelled this way, and you put them on a shelf, and they look uniform and nice. But sometimes you go to someone's house, a Stephen King book, the hardback cover is as big as a fucking Bible, and then it's like Carrie. It's this little airplane Bible size, it's like just put it in your pocket, and it's weird as fuck.
My stepdad Eric, he had some Stephen King books, and it was the exact same way. It was just like really nice, huge, really nice, teeny tiny, huge, regular.
and what's crazy is it's kind of the same as like VHS movies, like Disney movies, where one movie is just like down a centimeter, or like the Marvel movies when you buy them on Blu-ray, it's like, oh, Captain America, Iron Man, blah blah blah,
Steelbook,
and then it's Steelbook. It's same with gaming,
the Simpsons uproar, how they had like the same exact format for like the first 12 seasons of the box set.
Season 13 it just drops.
And then season 13 all of a sudden it's a clamshell Homer head, and everyone's just like,
this doesn't look good.
The fuck is this? This doesn't fit the collection, assholes.
And I think that's kind of the great thing about some of these antique places. You can find those books to solidify those without having to go online or eBay or dig through. It's kind of fun though. The hunt for the stuff is nice, and then it's also the impulse buy, like at Micro Center. Micro Center had all this stuff. I could get a 1 terabyte hard drive for this, or I can get a 2 terabyte hard for this. I could just buy a whole new Dell HDMI splitter, or I could just buy the fucking power cord to the one I have. You know, I was like, or I could just say fuck it and not pay my fucking cell phone bill and buy a 3D printer and tell Verizon to suck my dick.
Hey,
decisions.
You can 3D print them a sign that says "suck my dick."
I don't make phone calls. I hate making phone calls. I have a job doing that. I hate that.
No, if I'm picking a book, if there's the option for a hard or soft cover, I won't pass up a soft cover if it's something I want bad enough. But I will always go toward the hardbacks because it just feels more of a
book.
thing. It's like the other is just a really big magazine, which I love my magazines, but it's like this is what it feels like. It's a really thick magazine, but like if I get a hardcover, I'm just like I have a book.
But also
I have literature.
But also like the books you read and the books we read are probably different.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like you read like biographies, it's probably about musicians and stuff. So that's good to have in a hardback.
Yeah.
Because you want that in a hardback. You want that to put on the shelf and look good because the binding looks good. The paper around the binding looks good.
The Art of Star Wars.
Art books. I will never buy a paperback art book.
Yeah.
Art books are hard copies. The History of Horror, Pulp, the one I got when we were down in where the fuck were we? Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that the one I really want is the Fury Road one. Or Mad Max Fury Road that Loot Crate had. I missed it by a month. And I'm beating myself up because it's all like
Dicks.
It's like $100 now fucking anywhere else. I'm just like, man, that's a fucking awesome looking book. But like art books, yeah, you gotta have hardcovers on them. Like the Art of Atari.
One of the only books that I purposefully bought in hardback is a biography book.
Got it, yeah.
Because I had listened to it online, Audible. And it was such an amazing book, and I knew it was going to be great anyway. It's a autobiography. And the intro was read by the author, and then the Audible part was, the rest of the book was read by
Voice actors?
not a voice actor, it was famous actress. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But it was Gloria Steinem's book.
Yeah, but it's a professional person.
Yeah. And the book was amazing. And then happened to go to Ollie's one day, mom and her friend Frida. And they left me in the book section, as one does. I happened to be wandering through there, and I'm like, oh my God, my book! I was like, I have this on Audible. I can send it back. And I can have the hardback cover of the book.
I will say this. I'll post this. I'll test this to Discord. Whoever listens to Audible books, who does it better, the professional reader or the author reading the book? Because I've gotten arguments with people about that. Because I prefer the author read the book because I want their fucking cadence and I want their tone because they wrote the goddamn book.
I agree with that one.
So like Stephen King reading it to me is a lot better than an actor reading it, even with the different voices. So like you get a certain tone,
especially for like what I like exactly what you said. Well, I like reading the biographies. If I'm listening to a biography, I want that artist or that musician or that movie star to be telling me that story because it is their story.
Well, I know Elvira reading her own autobiography was chef's kiss perfection.
Now that I know that that's a thing, that's about to be my next Audible purchase.
It's amazing. It's perfection.
I will say, and even as much as I love something, I will make fun of it all day long. The best / most hilarious audiobook you can get is the Paul Stanley memoir.
Oh God.
Hearing Paul, so when I was growing up in New York. It is fantastic to listen to. It's on YouTube, so it's for free.
That's another thing too, is like the audiobooks have really come leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
Especially with Spotify now doing audiobooks just on the fly.
What's your opinion on sound effects in audiobooks?
It depends on like
if it's a murder mystery.
To me, that gets really close to a radio show.
That's what I'm saying.
I like when they do that though.
Like it's fine. Like that's cool because if they have one exception, if it's multiple people doing the book, sound effects are great. But if it's one dude in an office just reading going on, it's like, and she walked into the forest. Click, 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 click. No, that's
bad. That's weird.
That's fucking dumb. There were Ewoks everywhere. They surrounded the group. The platoon locked and loaded. I don't need that. I don't need that in my Space Vietnam book. Memoirs of a Dead Stormtrooper. I don't need that. But like if the author is good enough, you don't need it.
Yeah.
The one that is very well done, and it is a radio play, but it's a reading of the book, is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett.
Absolutely.
It's done as a radio show, but it is the book verbatim. And it's very well done, and it has sound effects and stuff like that. And it kind of brings you into kind of like something your great grandparents would hear on the radio or something. And it's just like, man, they really pushed the limits of what they could do with sound back then.
It's Astroman.
Yeah, and it's just like, but if you go back and listen to those old Gadara types and stuff like that, they do have somebody opening a door, or they have what is it called? Foley artists we're big in demand. And it's just like, hey Gary, I need to make a sound of a gun, a doorknob, and a woman screaming. He's like, well, I could do the first two, but I gotta get my wife for the second, third. But I can be quick about it. I'll be quick, or I can use Stephanie. Hey Stephanie. And it's like,
You're hired.
See, she's scared already. I haven't even put my hands on her yet. Back when Foley artists were men and gals were gals.
All right.
Oh yeah, we were doing a thing, weren't we? Before we all got sidetracked.
Well, you need to get that Nintendo pelt. The Nintendo rug.
Well, before this gets any deeper into depravity, let's go ahead and move on over to our news segment. All right, it's been a minute for the news, and so much of it has passed already. There's no point in really talking about it because so many people have already talked about it. But like Dr. Disrespect, whoops,
the guy at Subway Marketing has got to be just banging his fucking brains against the wall or something to stick, because
create a cartoon character at this point. Quit hiring people as your mascots.
I'm Captain Sandwich. Would you like come on down to Subway and get some of my foot long? Canceled. Gone. God damn it.
You want to taste my balls? They're meatballs.
Gone.
Extra cheesy.
I love kids too, but not that way. God damn it.
Come here, kids. Try my kids' meal.
2 for $2.
I know.
God damn. You know, McDonald's and Burger King and Arby's, who just making chemical fucking burgers and sandwiches, are just like, thank God this motherfucker, because they also got sued by the FDA. And now they had to put the ingredients of the shit they put in their bread and post it on the fucking windows and shit. And people are freaking out because it has a giant warning label on it that says, hey, this is not technically bread, it's cake.
Yeah, that was in the UK.
Yeah. And I'm just like, God, the fucking PR nightmare of like TikTok and just everybody. And I didn't really watch the guy. I would just see clips of him and stuff.
Yeah, that was really kind of where it ended with me, because I was always aware of him. He was actually one of the first like Twitch streamers I had ever heard of.
Yeah.
And I dug it because he kind of had like this Duke Nukem 80s style, you know, you can kiss my ass, fuck yeah, America, you know, kind of goofy thing to him. And I'm just
he wore like body armor and shit. He had these weird fucking like macho man aviators or something. And had like a fake mullet, mustache.
Yeah, so it's like he was a total like cartoon character, you know, just like this macho man 80s type thing. So it was funny. And then yeah, all of a sudden we're not trying to defend ourselves at all, and we've dropped off the face of the planet. After finding out that we were using the Whisper app to talk to 13-year-old girls.
The funniest, one of the funniest reels I'd ever seen in my life was someone had posted one of his live stream where he finds out.
Yes.
But somebody, he's playing like Elden Ring or something, and he's playing and he looks at his phone and
while he's looking at the music, naturally in the game, in the background starts swelling to like being more intense. So it was like narrating the moment that he saw his entire career flash before his eyes.
But somebody juxtaposed it to Kennedy being shot in the head. And it was like him looking at it, and it's... And I'm just like... career ended.
Team failed.
Mission failed. Or, mission failed GTA.
Yep. With like that hammer. Ting.
But yeah, just fuck him.
Yeah, so that just a footnote on that one. Maybe we've been talking so much gaming shit. However,
A footnote in history.
Yep. However,
Who do you think the next one's going to be?
Do what?
Who do you think the next one's going to be?
Good God. Oh.
I can't wait for Scott DeWaz to be busted for heroin.
He would be more cocaine than heroin.
He's been up doing uppers the whole time. He's just trying to speedball his way back down so he can just go to the grocery store with his buddies. Just jacked out on heroin, fucking putting quarters in the fucking turnstile of a gumball machine one too many times, and he's just all gacked out.
Where's the Game Boy games? Where's the Game Boy games?
Trying to buy a fucking Pokemon sticker out of a fucking 25-cent machine.
I don't even like Pokemon. But this is something rather interesting and something rather morbid, at least according to some people. You will now be able to go to Monroe, Michigan, to one of the death museums there and see the last piece of stage Pantera's Dimebag Darrell ever played on. And the reason it's also kind of morbid is when you look at the photo, there's an entire section of the carpet that's ripped up. Yeah. So you know that's the spot.
Yeah, that's the crime scene.
That is the spot.
Well, murder museums, if you ever go to one, they're very...
It's called the Museum of Horror in Monroe, Michigan.
Yeah, I imagine they've had some of Ed Gein's stuff because they are in the Great Lake area. I imagine they had the car, Mary Hogan's car. I think that was part of the thing. They had a fake Ed Gein and a fake Mary Hogan in the car. Because I've seen like the Bonnie and Clyde car, the one that got shot up to fucking pieces.
Yeah,
and it is a piece of history, and music history wise, yeah, that's kind of important. But I don't. It is morbid, but it is also something that sells. People who are fans of Pantera are going to go out to see that.
Would they though?
Yeah,
because I can only put myself in those shoes by replacing the artist because I couldn't give two flying fucks about Pantera or Dimebag. Like for instance, if Ace Frehley got fucking gunned down on stage one night, I don't know if I would really be interested in like going and seeing like his costume pieces from that night. You know, it just that I don't know, like that feels like a little bit too much of a thing where it's like I would actually be interested in seeing the stage because I wasn't a Pantera fan. I feel like the Pantera fans are going to be kind of looking at this going, I don't want to be near that.
In all your experience of Kiss fans, you think some of them would actually just go and see it if that was to happen?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
like a small percentage.
Yeah.
But I would definitely see like a very large outcry of fans being like, "This is fucked up."
People naturally have a weird, morbid curiosity. They always have. It's worse back then because they didn't have nothing to distract them. One of the worst cases I've ever heard this was a school bombing in Texas, and people from outside of town came into the town and were grabbing scraps of brick of a blown up school or pieces of flesh out of trees. And this was the 1930s.
Yeah.
So people just going up to this museum and being like, hey, look at that piece of wood. That's fucking crazy. It's a lot tamer than these goddamn animals from the fucking turn of the century. So,
and again, don't get me wrong. I just said I want to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking down on anybody.
We're not.
I'm just also pulling devil's advocate going, I wouldn't want to see where a Kiss member got murdered. Yeah. So I at least respect the Pantera fans if they're a little iffy about that. However, don't get too uppity yet. I would like to see it.
Well, I mean, if you want to look at it from that perspective, and I'm not even remotely trying to compare the two, but there are people who make the trek to whatever church it is, where you go down into the catacombs that are made out of bones and skulls and all that kind of thing.
And see, I would actually like to go to that too.
I would too.
But again, I feel that it's because we have such a personal disconnection from all that. We're there for the interesting history and, you know, the morbid curiosity of it all. I would imagine if someone knew that their great-grandfather's skull was down there, they'd be like, yeah, I don't I'd like to stay away from that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I can see it as natural, though.
Yeah.
I see it as a natural aspect of life, confronting death and all that. You know, that's what the Morrison City is all about, confronting death in its most terrible. That's why we have memorials. That's why we have, Freedom Tower in New York. You know, we built something on top of a tragedy. So I totally get why it's in a museum in fucking Michigan. I kind of get why. Like, plus the Great Lakes have a lot of those.
Yeah.
From Illinois to Ohio, there's a lot of weird museums in that area all around the Great Lakes because they've had some of the most prolific serial killers in those fucking areas, like the Chicago Rippers, John Wayne Gacy, Milwaukee Madman, Dahmer. You've had these guys who are just there, you know. So I can kind of get it.
Yeah.
Ed Gein, go back to him.
And what was your little piece of news there you had, Cristy?
Oh, I'm probably the only one that cares, especially in this room. But I am happy to report that Practical Magic 2 has been confirmed.
What the fuck is that?
The movie, Practical Magic, from the 90s. Nicole Kidman, Sandra Bullock.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was like a TV show or something. No. Okay, gotcha.
So the movie, Practical Magic, back in the 90s, with Nicole Kidman, Sandra Bullock. Awesome movie. Yes. They have confirmed a part 2 with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock.
Oh, so everyone's coming back too? Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. Well, that kind of goes into like Netflix came out with Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because one thing me and Mikey did while I was in West Virginia, he had never seen Beverly Hills Cop, so we watched 1 and 2, and then we watched Rambo, as one does.
Rambo.
While you do a shrimp bowl and drink tequila. And watch these motherfuckers jump into a pool and break cones in the yard.
If you listen real close, you can just hear the banjo music.
Yeah. Out there, it's all fucking thrash metal and fucking punk rock at Brad's house. The banjo motherfucker wouldn't respect the land they go on. But no, that is kind of cool, that they're getting original actors back, because I think that's better than rebooting. I think it's better than recasting, is to get people back from the original cast to come in and play the characters they played, kind of like the way Ghostbusters did it when they brought back Bill Murray and Winston and Harold Ramis, or they CGI'd Harold Ramis, but Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
They all came together to do that movie, and it worked out great. People really loved that new Ghostbusters movie.
Hammer seemed to really like it.
Yeah.
And he's like the biggest Ghostbusters fan I know, and I'm just like, he likes it. That mean it good.
Yeah. But no, that's exciting, But that also leaves the door open for a lot of other actors to do that too. If it's successful, that's the thing. If they are half as successful as Ghostbusters, they could do that with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the things I was excited about with Practical Magic 2 is I didn't realize until recently that they had made it. There's a whole series of books that they based. One of the books is the movie. There's 4 actual books. So they have a lot of content to pull from.
Yeah.
As far as stories go. So instead of pulling from just the one book that is Practical Magic, they have a lot of context they could pull from.
Got it.
Which nerd me, back when I had money, went to Barnes & Noble.
Unlike Moneybags McGee over here.
Yeah. Back when I had money.
I'm getting real tired of the disrespect. They're pories.
Hey, I was with Moneybags McGee when I went to Barnes & Noble and bought all the books.
Yeah, we had to get a bag.
Yep. Shall did.
We had to get one of those little bags they have on the stand. And just say, take this to carry all the bullshit you're going to buy from us. That'll be warm kindling for the end of times.
Yeah, that was fun. Chris goes, do they have bags? I said, they do. I went over there so proud with a bag. He goes, I said, what? I got all 4 of them right in a row, just put them right in the bag. But anyway, I'm really excited about that because I love the movie Practical Magic and everything about it.
And those 2 actors are still going. That's what's really good. That's another hard thing is like, you don't see a lot of actors from your favorite movies still acting anymore. And it's like, if you want another movie to come out or you want something to, you experience with Kevin James and his stuff. Like, how many of those got Kevin Smith? Kevin James too, man.
The reason I'm laughing is because people will honestly mistake both of them for each other and call them. So like Kevin Smith always has to like fans coming up, Kevin James. He's like, nope, wrong Kevin.
But those actors coming back to play themselves as
Yeah.
It's always hard to see, and are they going to do a great job, or is it going to be hit or miss? And I think Kevin Smith did a great job with all his stuff. When he's playing Silent Bob, I don't think I've ever seen a bad movie with him in it.
Which, side note, that 70s show season 2 part 1 got released, and very last episode, it's not a spoiler, they posted on their Instagram. 2 people accidentally drive through the foreman's front kitchen, and it's Kevin and Jay. And spoiler, mainly because it's just, I know you guys don't care about spoilers for that fucking 90s show. Jesus goddamn Christ. It is now official canon that Kevin Smith, who's named Son in that show, is Theo's son.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So Kevin Smith and Chong rather, are officially father and son in the 90s show, 70s show universe.
Nice.
Now, there's one preview me and Cristy watched that looked promising. It was called A Heretic.
Yeah.
These 2 holy rollers roll up to Hugh Grant's house, and he's like, "Come on in, the water's fine." And it's just like, click. And it's like, "Oh, shit, you walked into a zoo, bitch. You dumb motherfucker. That's the lion's den you just dumped in. God damn, that's a Harambe situation all over again. You're fucked." I love a good movie where someone gets trapped in a house, because it always seems like you just kick out a window. Because like if someone's trapped at my house, just kick the fucking wall, okay? You're going to make it out of the wall. But like someone else's house, like a brick house, you're just like fuck. Like, I'm not kicking my way out of this place, but I love those kind of movies, like people trapped in an area, because it's always the movies are tighter because it's all one place to film, and they rarely go outside. So yeah, that looks promising.
It looked really good.
Being scary is awesome.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
When funny people are scary, they knock it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, because I've never seen him as anything scary. He's either a romantic lead or he's a comedy lead. He's never scary in anything, and so far in the trailer, he's scary.
But you take funny people who are scary, like who become scary, like Robin Williams, Jeff Daniels.
Yep.
Those guys can really knock it out of the park, and it looks like a really good movie, a good horror movie coming out.
Okay.
Pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
And I watched a brand new some stuff on Shudder that are just fantastic.
And I will say too, shout out to Paul in the Discord. He has been keeping us updated with a heavy list of movies that he's been watching and giving like pretty decent reviews on each one too. So Paul, keep it up, man. I'm loving reading that shit. And he's reminding me of a few that I need to go through and watch as well. So also, if you want to sign up for the Discord, click that link in the episode description, because it is fun in there, especially because we get to talk about all that crazy movie shit like that. And plus the meme page is always fire.
Oh yeah, some of us are going to be teaching world history this year, so if y'all want to talk about that.
History started on July 4th, 1776. Everything before that is a mistake.
Anyway, save that for y'all's show.
America,
fuck yeah! The last tiny piece of news I have to discuss before we get into what's going to wind up turning into the main topic at this point, because there's just going to be so much to talk about when it comes to this piece of news. Do you guys remember Firefest?
Yes.
I remember hearing about it.
I like a bread with cheese in a styrofoam container for what, $2,000?
And do we remember there was it was called it wasn't TwitchCon, it was that Tumblr Con that happened out about maybe 10 years ago, and it was like an absolute clusterfuck, and that's where the meme of someone pissed in the ball pit came from.
I vaguely remember it was a con, but I'm not sure which one it was.
It wound up just being an absolute clusterfuck. It was supposed to have like a live book reading by a famous author, and like, they never paid the author, so like they never showed up, and they like didn't cancel the event, and like, and this every other panel was fucked up. There's supposed to be like this arcade room, and it had like, a basketball hoop and like a Walmart ball pit with like 5 balls in it, and like it was an absolute rug pulling of event.
The logistics nightmare.
Yes, it happened again. This time called Pokeverse. There was a Pokemon Expo held in the Philippines. Supposed to have had like all these crazy fun experiences. The voice actor that sang the original Pokemon song was supposed to come there and sing. Vendors, people selling shit, photo ops with like, you know, these big stand-up Pokemon things like in like each starter. So you had like a Bulbasaur section, a Charmander section, and a Squirtle section. When they show up, there are 3 plushies on stands in front of blue, green, and red like wallpaper. There are no vendor booths. The resting area for people to change in their cosplay shit is smack dab in the middle of the con with no like protective barrier or anything. Just expected to get ready right there in the middle of the floor. No food, no beverages. They were handing out the wrong passes, so VIP holders weren't getting their fucking passes. And by the second day, they basically just closed up shop.
Sounds like a German Willy Wonka land.
It's been happening a lot more lately here. It really was. It was the Willy Wonka land, but for Pokemon shit. It was hyped up to be this big crazy thing, and then when people showed up, they got $1 worth of entertainment.
And you know what's crazy? You know, that failed, but the EDM thing in Vegas went off without a hitch. Those fucking Molly addicted motherfuckers raved until the fucking sun came up in the desert and did fine.
Oh, and I forgot about this. Ravioli Man was there. So this is a
Chef Boyardee?
So this is a tweet by somebody. Now to describe what this person looks like, he is wearing a bathrobe, like a silk like lounge robe. Like one of those black sun safari hats.
Okay.
And he's holding a jar, like a clear mason jar, okay? And it says, "This guy is eating sauce off a ravioli jar from his pocket. It seemed a bit like a Filthy Frank style prank, but there are children under 5 running around the space and he was smelling rotten. Security refused to do anything despite several ongoing reports."
It sounds like Randy Quaid from National Lampoon. It sounds like Randy Quaid from Christmas Vacation. Hey, Clark, the shitter's full.
So Wonka Land had the that weird mirror guy, and then Pokeverse had Ravioli Man. What a time to be alive.
This is why you don't go to conventions, folks.
I'm feeling that. I'm kind of feeling that. But
how about the Power World? If Power World gets fucking is up to that level, a Power World, a Pokemon with guns convention, that would be the shit. Because the NRA don't fuck up conventions.
That would be terrifying.
That would be cool as shit. You got a whole fucking plethora of stands with guns and shit selling,
and then a whole bunch of
Pokemon plushies,
and then a whole bunch of not mentally sane Pokemon style fans. No.
Have you ever seen an NRA fan? They're not mentally fucking stable either.
Exactly. Let's not combine the two groups.
Oh, come on, man. We need something exciting.
Well, we are getting something exciting because the Nintendo Direct for June last month came out on June 18th, and man, oh man, oh man, do we have some games to talk about here? And Christy's like, I might as well just put the microphone down.
No, I was just about to comment on the smooth transition.
I might be a little bit of a professional, or at least pretend to act one on TV.
Sorry.
Trust me, it's okay. Anyway, we have got a ton of games to go through, way more than I actually remembered, which is part of the reason why I was like, yeah, this could probably just be our main topic side quest.
Christy owns a Switch, so she might be interested.
Mom's got one. I played it.
Well, do you want to start with heavy hitters, or do you want to kind of work our way up to those?
Yeah, just work our way up. Start with the lower, go from the top.
All right, so some of the smaller things. This was part of the Direct, but it was already announced beforehand. A game I'm really interested in is going to be a reissue of the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that because essentially it is just a bunch of mini games in the style of NES style stuff. So you had the original Nintendo World Championship where kids from all over would come and battle each other in these quick little micro games. It'd be like, okay, here's a level of Super Mario 3. You've got to get from this point of the level, collect certain amount of coins by this point of the level fastest, and go. And so they had to compete in these competitions, and you had like one grand prize winner that got like a golden cartridge of all those mini games, and shit like that. And they did it for years and years and years, and they're reissuing that now on the Nintendo Switch. And there's a special edition one where they have like a replica of the gold cart. And I'm like, yes, I want that.
Yeah, I think it retails at $60.
Yeah, for the special edition one, which is not bad because you get that with like another little medallion and a bunch of other little extra trinkets that'll look cool up on the shelf.
Art postcards, I think a pen, coin, and then the cartridge itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely one I want to get that.
I'm kind of curious if it's a functioning cartridge.
It's not.
Damn.
I already looked into that.
Boo.
I know if it was a functioning cartridge.
A fucking one.
A fucking one, man. If it was a fucking cartridge.
If it was a functioning cartridge, that's what you guys would do.
Yes. Well, no, I'm still want to get the game because I feel that would be really good fistful of quarters fodder.
Yeah.
Have like Hammer, Mikey, everyone come over and everyone just get challenged at it. Be like, all right, this episode is Alex's episode. Let's see how far he gets and get his numbers. All right, this is Chris's episode. Let's see how far he gets. And then at the end, tally it all up and then do it like bracket style.
It's just a fucking showdown of just no, don't do this, no. Hey, it's Mikey and Chris. It's Mikey and Chris at the end. That's it.
And so no, I have a feeling we'll be kind of belaboring that topic a little later because I definitely want to pick that up. It also looks like a Perfect Dark from Rare is getting a reissue. Yeah. Along with Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and Zero Mission.
Yep. They actually added one not too long ago, Super R-Type, which is a fucking awesome Super Nintendo game recently. But no, that's great that they're adding all that stuff in. It really, like we talked about earlier about the Game Pass and the Switch Pass, basically, it just add to the catalog,
And then a few indie titles are finally making their way over, like The 100 Line, Tales of the Shrine, and Stray, the cat game.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to play that one for a minute.
That looks funny as shit.
It does.
It plays like an orange cat.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like post-apocalyptic times. You're playing as a cat, and I think you even have like a laser at one point or something, or like you've got like some sort of headgear that you can collect.
I would like to just state for the record that if there was an apocalypse, I do believe that orange cats would be the master race to survive it.
And it is an orange cat in the game.
I'm saying. Orange cats would be okay. Black cats, maybe. But orange cat energy, they would be fine.
Yes.
They would be fine.
They're already made of radioactive material, so they're fine.
Yes.
Every orange cat I've met's been an asshole.
They tough.
And we're also getting a new Lego game, Lego Horizon Adventures.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be like an open world, possible online. There used to be a computer program. There used to be a computer game like that. Its server shut down. I remember a bunch of people on the Lego server were there for the final end, and I thought that was pretty neat.
That community is hardcore. Like they really stick together on that shit. One that I also really want to pick up because I was stoked as hell to see that we're finally getting a collection port on this Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yeah, so it's kind of overdue.
Yes, way overdue.
Because the Street Fighter collection's okay. I bought that for like $25 for the Switch. But like a Marvel vs. Capcom, there's so many of them, and arcade out the ass is so much fun. Absolutely.
And as soon as I saw that, I went, okay, I might have to get the arcade fight stick for the Switch. Fuck.
Hey, I'll shout out to Mikey on this one. We played on Fistful of Quarters Street Fighter 2.
Available on our YouTube.
And I smoked y'all. But when it came to an actual standing arcade machine in West Virginia, he got me every fucking match.
Really?
Shout out to him because he's just like hitting them goddamn buttons.
Well, I'll say, man, there is
Playing on that is a lot different than a fucking controller.
I was all day long, man, and that's part of the reason why I've been looking at like those arcade style stick controllers for like the NES and the Switch and shit. Because when we all took our trip to Abari, there was a bunch of high scores before me. I had the number 1 high score on Galaga, so it's just like I was number 1 for that day. That was pretty fucking awesome. I pull out my shit, I couldn't even get halfway to where I was on the arcade game.
Mom's having that same problem with her Switch. She's getting murdered in Pac-Man.
Oh no.
Because she said, I have played Pac-Man years before you were even considered. She said, you weren't even a thought. She said, I didn't even have a baby doll. She said, I played Pac-Man on every arcade machine and killed it. She said, and now I can't do it on this handheld thing.
Yep, because there's just something so different with your thumb making that movement versus your entire wrist or your arm. It's like it's so much more deliberate. And then with Galaga, you're really pressing that button. You're using that fast movement kind of thing. You can't really quite do the same when you're doing that. And I even tried like put the controller on the table and kind of do it like that.
Mom did that.
It's still just, it's off. There, you can't replace that arcade feeling.
Mom's so funny. She had the thing flat and she had the trigger thing in her hand, and she was trying to do it like a joystick. It was so cute. And I'm over there trying to do it, and I'm like, I've played a Switch before, so I kind of know what I'm doing, and I'm getting murdered. I'm like, even I've played this on an arcade game machine before.
It will humble your ass if you're not playing on the right hardware.
I'm like, it's Pac-Man, I don't care.
like Chris playing with the third-party controller.
Snap that like a fucking
I learned my lesson early with that, man. Because we hadn't done an episode since we did that. So since we're in our gaming thing, man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we're done. I'll see you next week.
Essentially.
To the fucking loo.
So if you guys listen to the Fistful of Quarters or watch the Fistful of Quarters episodes where we tried to continue our playthrough of Super Mario World, you would notice about maybe twice per episode, all of a sudden it would like pause, erase our progress, and then like go back in. And I was just like, Chris, fucking stop. And you're like, I'm not pressing the buttons. I'm like, you've got to be pressing some fucking buttons. These are deliberate button presses. This is like 3 different things. Stop it. All of a sudden, I realized he is just getting so intense with this game. He is squeezing this third-party controller, cheap-ass China bullshit. And it is like cracking in his like Hercules hands. So
that's the best compliment I've had about my hands. Englishman crushing hands was said by another person.
So I have done my due diligence because the official Nintendo ones are a lot more sturdy. They're a lot nicer, and I now have a 10-foot extension cable to connect that bitch to the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, so that next time when we play, we will actually be able to get through a level, myself included.
I'll just get Chrissy's dad to fabricate one out of metal.
He can.
Yeah, just fabricate us some sheet metal fucking Nintendo. It's going to weigh like 10 pounds.
That is all you, my friend.
Yeah, just
I will use my official Nintendo controller that I now can play.
Just take the guts out of one, just throw it inside that motherfucker.
Yeah. Fuck it. So yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, definitely interested in that one. And skipping over just maybe a couple smaller like indie titles, Metal Slug Attack Reloaded is going to be coming.
Yeah, good Contra kind of game. It's just a runaway shooter.
And now we're starting to kind of get into the meat of it a little bit more mid hitters. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yeah, that's
getting a full port. That one is important because that initially was locked to the Nintendo DS. So that was on a handheld, and I still don't know what they would do to be able to really do Nintendo 3DS games or 2DS games or DS games on a Switch console, because
I think they'll do it the way the Wii U works, where you have to hold the console and somehow
Projected also on the
port,
TV.
The port is the main screen. Mm-hmm. They would probably like a chipset or something built into the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm assuming that's how they would do it.
Yeah, where it's like they're able to send that small signal to the dock.
Yeah.
Because
like
you'd still
switch
you'd still want to like take the whole thing out of the dock, and there would be like nothing left other than the HDMI connected to the TV. So maybe it could send like a low latency Bluetooth connection.
Yeah.
That way it could actually pop up through there.
Yeah, and that would
hire me, Nintendo. But either way, that's still a cool one because it's brand new updated graphics using the Luigi's Mansion 3 engine, so it's going to look really nice. And yeah, it's going to be the first time that a lot of people are actually going to be able to play the game, because a lot of people just did not buy the DS systems when they were new.
Yeah, like I bought a 3DS back when it was new. That was it, because it's 3D.
Yeah.
But like I never played the DS.
I was going to say, how long did you play it for? How many games did you have?
I had about 4 or 5. I beat them to completion though.
Yeah.
They were RPGs. But there was a Zelda game attached to it that was perfect. Link Between Worlds. Probably the third best Zelda game ever made.
You said that and then cocked a smile, so I was like waiting for a fight.
No, because I'm pretty sure this next Zelda game coming out is going to be perfect.
No, we'll get there. That'll be one of the last ones. That's why I was asking if we wanted to start with the heavy hitters or not. Yeah. There's also a game that came out that I saw the trailer for that I don't know how I entirely feel about it. Funko Fusion. Did you see the trailer for that game?
Is it a Funko Pop based game?
Yes, it is.
Well, good for them. They finally got something.
It's a Funko Pop based game, and it's like a big multiverse type thing where it's like a bunch of different properties are all getting together, and they're all the little Funko characters running around RPG style.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'd probably be better than fucking whatever Disney's trying to do.
Imagine like the Lego movie, but Funko Pop video game.
That's pretty funny.
That's kind of how they're working it out.
I will say this. Brad Smith has a Funko of himself.
No shit. That's awesome.
And it has a cat with it. And I'm like, that is fucking amazing. It says Rockfather. It's fucking fantastic. I'm just like, good for you, man.
Yeah, Funko's now doing those create your own Funkos, and
I think it's like $60.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Unfortunately, they don't have my fucking hair. Yeah, look, every time I have the emails for Funko, and they're like, new updates to the Create My Funko, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can finally make one. Nope, nothing that's even fucking close. Not at all. And I'm just like, really? With all the 60s and 70s shit that's trending, you don't have a shag? Kiss my ass. Anyway.
Like a Pat Benatar one.
Yeah. Among Us is also finally coming to the Switch. I have never played it.
It's just a hide and seek game from hell. That's what it is. It's hide and seek from hell, man.
It is.
And then everybody gathers together, and Turburns, who's Red Rover, and they kick his ass out in space.
Every year, the students put the red one on my board. And every year, a student will draw a red one, and underneath it, they will write sus. Every year! It'll be on the board, or it'll be on a Post-it note hidden in my classroom somewhere. It's a rule. They have passed it on from the minute I got there.
It's a really great community game.
Is it?
So like you get enough people that you know involved, and it's like, who is it? You know, it's basically like a big game of tag, but you don't know who the guy is. It's it. And you're running around the ship doing all this. There's vents, there's hallways, there's just all kinds of stuff, and whoever's it will kill a player.
Yeah.
And
then you have to interrogate and everything else.
It is a very, very dropped down version of The Thing by John Carpenter.
Well, maybe that's the first Something Good Network game we all need to play from home, because you can get like free versions of it, can't you? And Among Us free to download or something?
I think for Steam and Xbox it is.
Yeah. So we could all just get...
And they do cross-platform.
I know the kids used to play it on their phones.
Yeah. So that's why I was just like, I'm pretty sure there's like free versions of Among Us out there. And that's what we'll do. We'll get everyone, Dante, Cristy, Mikey, Hammer, Chris, and I, all get in the lobby. Well,
that's not going to be any fair. Everybody already knows who I'm going to be.
No, it's randomized.
Yeah, it's randomized pick.
You don't get to pick.
You don't get to pick your color?
No, of course you don't.
No, it's not the same color either. It's it's just a randomized board. And it's kind of like how Red Rover is played. Someone just randomly picked.
Yeah, so it's like you don't get to be the villain every time.
But that doesn't mean I don't get to be red every time.
She's not.
Well, that just means we'll all be red.
It's basically just a big game of like, us, man. I think Dante's one of them.
Well, we knew that already.
And just in this creak, you hear my knuckles crack around my fucking phone. I'm coming for you.
Get a first party phone, Chris. Go quick in the Chinese phones. And we also got Disney Illusion Island coming out. That was a pretty interesting one because they're doing really good art style for the gameplay. It looks like a 2D game, like a cartoon almost, kind of like a Cuphead. They're kind of taking around that style.
That style was fantastic for that game.
Mm-hmm. And they're also rebooting Wii Sports as Nintendo Switch Sports. So that's going to be one coming out.
Because I remember they came out with the creator kits. Remember the creator kits for Switch taught kids how basically
Nintendo Labo,
yeah, those were fantastic. Like it was
Nintendo's CEOs and marketing directors are all sitting around the board meeting. How can we sell cardboard to these motherfuckers?
But it kind of works like the Raspberry Pi. It taught you how to use the Switch materials and build onto the material. So
yeah,
it's a big learning curve for a lot of kids using those games.
And Ace Attorney Investigations, a new Ace Attorney game, is going to be coming out.
Those are weird.
Yeah, I love the objection memes.
Yeah, I've never really sat through a playthrough of those like online. I heard the story is very elaborate for all the games for the Ace Attorney at Law, but all I could think of was like Birdman and Coast and like Coast to Coast. Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and they would do the Birdman Attorney at Law on Adult Swim at night. That's all I could think of in my mind.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh God,
I will hear no objections.
I love that show. I miss it. And now we get into the big names. This one really caused a pop online. We're getting Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 being remade.
Yeah.
And I'm not too big. I don't know much about Dragon Quest at all, but
it's
apparently
it's a giant RPG.
Apparently the fan base was rabid for this because this almost overshadowed like the first party Nintendo property games. Like everyone was going fucking berserk over the new
I had
Dragon
Age
Quest.
Inquisition for the PS3.
Dragon Quest?
Dragon Quest, yeah. No, Dragon Age, I'm confusing. Dragon Quest is the same animator that does Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, okay.
And it's an RPG on par with like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy.
Okay, got it.
Dragon Age is a big RPG that's played on PlayStation and Xbox.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that, and again, the anime crowd, you know, you can attest, is very rabid when they finally get the thing they want. They're extremely loud.
They can be very scary.
The art style is fantastic. Like I said, it's the same people that do the art for Dragon Ball Z.
And considering it's now the HD 2D remake, people are just like, ah!
Yeah.
And now we finally get into games that everyone in this room will actually give a fuck about. I really want to play this. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yeah.
That has been out on so many different platforms. I have heard so many good things about it, and I have never played it. I think it first came out on the Wii, and it has had a port on every system since, including the 3DS, and I have still not played it.
Out of curiosity, you think they'll create a bongos peripheral?
Oh man, if they reboot
the DK bongos,
I was gonna say if they reboot Donkey Konga, that would be fucking great. Oh my god. Oh, so many fistful episodes. So many fistful episodes.
Just so you know, I have been forced to play Donkey Kong, the original.
Oh yeah,
the OG
for the Super Nintendo.
Yes, so
Donkey Kong Country.
times.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country is fantastic. Me and Cap fucking beat the shit out of that game.
And it's just basically like, so you know how you've got like Mario World, and then what we played, New Super Mario World. This is basically the new Super Mario World version of Donkey Kong Country.
That's good. They're revamping those games because we played the Wii U or the Wii version tandem game where we're both on the screen at the same time.
Yeah.
That was challenging but fun.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I'd only played that game once.
And now we can play it downstairs, and it'll be a lot easier to see.
Yeah, we'll see how that controller feels. Just see.
I hope you got a warranty.
I will say this. So I bought the Super Nintendo for my dad. And I told him, like, hey, the cord only goes so long. But I will say, the one I bought, the cord is fucking long as shit. Mm-hmm. But he will just sit a chair in front of the TV and play the Super Nintendo. I'm just like, that's fucking awesome.
There's a certain thing to it, man.
I would sit on the floor because my back would be killing me sitting in a chair.
My back would be killing me sitting on the floor.
Just cross-legged.
And we finally get a brand new Metroid game, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Oh man, those guys are rabid.
But this looks cool because it looks like a little, like a first-person shooter type deal.
Yeah. So when GameCube came out, they made Metroid Prime, and it was a first-person shooter. All the other ones were side-to-side scrollers.
Yeah.
And it was such a fucking hit. They had Echoes, and then they had the Game Boy Advance port where you had to have the special controller adapter that went into the GameCube, and it worked in tandem with Echoes. And then it was a brilliant idea to port these two things together. Because if you have a GameCube, you're most likely a Nintendo kid, so you would have a Game Boy Advance or an SP.
Yep.
So like you could just plug and play that motherfucker, and it worked with Four Swords. Was Legend of Zelda? I think I can't remember if Mario had one from a Game Boy to the GameCube, but I remember it was Zelda and Metroid for sure. But
there is going to be something going on with Four Swords coming to Nintendo as well.
Coming back. Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking about a game about team reliance and team building?
We'll get to that one.
I will smack you in the fucking mouth if we're in the room together and you're not holding your fucking own. I will smack you in the fucking mouth. I swear to God.
Note to self: do not play that.
Pick up them fucking sticks. There's no crying in Zelda. Except there's a lot of crying. But no, the Metroid series is always fantastic. They did the revamp of Metroid Prime for the Switch a few years ago, and it looked great.
See, I never played any of the Prime games. I've only played the side-scrollers.
Yeah, but no, they're fantastic. The music is awesome. Like it creates an ambience, and like you ever play a game where the music kind of fills the room?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the first games I've ever had that did that. Right up there like Far Cry 5 and like stuff like that. The music in the background really plays it to it because it speeds up a little bit, and you're just like, oh shit, what's around the fucking corner? And Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom does the same fucking thing, and it was a good experiment for Nintendo to do, and it's carried on to a lot of other franchises. Assassin's Creed does the same thing. You'll start hearing the bass drum pick up a little bit more when there's enemies around.
Yep, and you're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah. You'll be walking, your character will be walking in like an RPG, and then all of a sudden his hands go up. And it's just like, oh, my character knows something's up before I do. Let me just pull out a fucking gun.
Controller starts vibrating. All of a sudden, you're like,
It's just like, what are all these potions around here for?
Yeah. But no, I'm really excited for that one.
And let's go ahead and talk about it since we kind of leaned into it. Four Swords.
One of the best Game Boy Advance games ever. And what was cool about it was you wanted your friends to have the game too. Mm-hmm. Because Nintendo did a great thing with this game. They put Link to the Past with it on the Advance. So you got two games in one. You had Four Swords or Link to the Past. And Four Swords, because it's like, it doesn't look as good as Link to the Past, it played as well as Link to the Past.
Right.
And if you had the Game Boy Advance gray cable with the purple cube in the middle to where you can daisy chain a bunch of fucking Game Boys together, you could all play that fucking game as long as you guys all had the cartridge.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so you guys would work as a team to do the puzzles, do the dungeons, and work your way through the game.
Right.
But yeah, it was fantastic.
I'm actually looking it up because there was a console version and a Game Boy version.
Yes.
So I'm actually looking here to try to see which one is actually coming.
So here's the thing. The console one, if you had it for the GameCube, let's say you had the GameCube and had Four Swords. If I had the Game Boy Advance game and had that special adapter for the Advance, I could plug it in and we could play together.
Yep. Okay, so it's actually coming to the Game Boy Advance channel on the Nintendo Switch, which now begs the question, are you going to upgrade your subscription?
Probably.
Because I was going to say, I think you still have the basic tier, where it's the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and regular Game Boy. Yeah. But then when you upgrade, you'll get the 64, and then the Advance, and the Sega.
Yeah, probably. I just cross that bridge when I get to it.
I just didn't know if that was going to be a big enough pull where you're just like, All right, I guess I'll kind of pull that trigger now.
I probably should do it now because Minish Cap and Oracle Ages and Oracle Seasons are on there anyway. And I'm just like, I could blow through those fucking games pretty fast.
Yeah, because I remember when you got excited that they had Ages and Seasons on there. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, one's combat heavy, one's puzzle heavy, yeah.
So now you have 3 Zelda Game Boy games to play.
Yeah. Or I could just get it for the Game Boy.
Hell yeah. Well, take a look on eBay first, and you might want to go ahead and just upgrade your Switch subscription.
It's just a glass display. How hard could it be to break into it? I got a hammer.
And after that, we've also got Mario and Luigi Brothership, which is a return of the Mario and Luigi Game Boy games, now coming to the Switch. And the art style on this looks awesome. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of like a weird mix of like a 2D, 3D animation. And it's just flat. Okay, it reminds me of like the Telltale games.
Telltale, yeah.
Telltale. It's that weird kind of cross of 3D, 2D comic book style. And it looks really cool. And I think this is kind of RPG heavy, so it might actually be the first one that I kind of play that's an RPG. Because even Super Mario RPG never interested me.
You know what? I didn't buy it, but I've never heard a single negative review about that for the Switch.
Oh, the new version? Nope. I have not heard a single bad thing.
And I'm kind of waiting for the price to go down a little bit before I buy it.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be a game I want to invest the time in.
Yeah, because it says island hopping RPG adventure starring Mario and Luigi. The brothers set sail on ship-shaped island, part ship, part island, to navigate the vast world of, I have no idea, Concordia. We're using brand new words here. Play as a pair, explore the islands that range from tropical rainforests to bustling cities. Along the way, meet new friends to help you on your journey and encounter familiar faces from the Mushroom Kingdom like Peach and Bowser. Keep the brothership afloat by relying on Mario and Luigi's bond to save the day, by employing the bros' moves to get past obstacles, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it just seems like kind of an adventure RPG, open world style deal.
It's probably a lot of, Nintendo's good at experimenting, so yeah, it's probably a good time to experiment on this one to see how it will, especially if it's a tandem game.
Yeah, and hey, if it's going to be a tandem game, this might be another one we could finally cross.
Yeah.
At some point, we have to play Overcooked together. You know that, right?
Yeah, I could be Guy Fieri.
And I'll be Ramsey.
Yo, man, have you ever thought about shut the
fuck up and let me cook?
Yo, man, I'm just trying to vibe here. How about this? How about I paint your
I need 5 burgers on the grill.
I'm about to paint your ceiling with your fucking brain, bro. How about you have a dinner?
Fucking hell!
I watched that Gordon Ramsay thing recently. I thought it was funny. He ate the entire dish of a guy who made it. This guy made this one thing, and Gordon Ramsay didn't save anything for anybody else. He's like, it's fucking perfect. Shut the fuck up. And I'm just like, you should do that more often because the other 2 fuckheads you got in this show are awful. Because one guy doesn't even cook.
Oh, Joe, whatever.
Master Chef, whatever. That fucking lame ass. Yeah. I'd beat him with a stick.
Probably the most excited I am for all of the fucking games coming out. This is kind of the last 2, so this is the 2 main heavy hitters. My heavy hitter is Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Yeah, that was wild that it's going to be a whole new set.
Oh.
Because once you get the subtitle in there, the Jamboree part, I'm just like, there better be a lot of goddamn shit on here.
And there is over 110 minigames, 5 brand new boards, and 2 remake boards from previous games, Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2. So a total of 7 boards, over 110 minigames, and up to 20 players can go head to head playing minigame like challenges and shit.
Sounds exhausting.
It sounds exhausting, but at the same time, holy shit! It's
that's
like
great, but yeah.
that would be fun to like poke your head in once, just to see what it was about because the options
and
there.
Mute your mic once.
Oh, they don't have mics on these.
Oh, that's just
they don't have voice chats.
Okay, good.
Nintendo thought that one through. Voice chat and chatting in general is not a part of Nintendo online services. Yeah. There is no communication with users on Nintendo.
Their Discord set up already. They're just fucking bogged
That's
down.
where it shows up.
I fucking hate you.
I do like me some Mario Party.
Yeah, and this looks fun as hell. And the reason I'm excited about it is because Mario Party went through a really dark period. Starting around
since the murders and rapes.
starting around Mario Party 8.
8, yeah.
Is when they started kind of changing the formula some, where it's like no longer was it like one player rolls, you land on the thing, you get an item, you exchange the coins for the stars. One game had everyone in a single car, so it's like you roll for the group and shit like that, and like that was the main gameplay. There were other ones where like you were working off like separate areas of the board, and like you didn't have to trade money for stars, you just got stars by passing it, and like weird shit. And then they put out the first Super Mario Party that had like very limited like games and boards and shit like that. And then the one that finally came out that was any good was Mario Party Deluxe or something like that, and that's the one I purchased. And I have put in like 200 hours into that game, because there for a while I played it like every evening. And if you play like the 90 round thing, that's about 2 hours per session.
I'm not a big Mario Party fan, but like I have no idea why they did not take the formula of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and put it with Mario Party.
That's what I was hoping the entire time, is that we were just going to get DLC for this latest one, where it's like, hey, here's a brand new board and 20 more mini games from previous games.
And like if you're a tier 1 Nintendo guy, you would get 2 new boards. If you're a deluxe Nintendo subscriber, you'd get new boards on a monthly or maybe even a term basis. Maybe
here's a new character or two that can play on the board.
Yeah, for a little while, and then after like maybe make a Super Mario Party Jamboree or some shit and sell them that. Yeah. But like it's weird that Mario Kart will probably be the last one they ever fucking make, because they could just keep shipping new characters and put them in.
Make new courses, make new cups.
Yeah, but
because that's what they did.
And
all of a sudden, they're just like, hey, guess what? You've already got, you've already got 8 cups. Guess what, bitch? You're about to get 8 more, and in each side of those cups, you got 5 or 4 racetracks. Have fun, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Make it Grand Prix, make it road races, make it off the gate, off the line. But like Mario Party seemed like one of those games where they could have just kept updating on a server.
Yeah.
And it's Nintendo, and it's a flagship game to begin with. It's Mario Party. What the fuck? Who dropped the ball on this?
Yeah.
The guy who did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is shitting in hot cotton, because he created the perfect fucking Mario, the last Mario Kart game probably for a decade.
Yeah.
He knocked it out of the park. And now you're telling me Mario Party 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. We can't just port favorites over.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard.
And again, even like the first Super Mario Party, the boards were like small.
Yeah.
Like you could get around them very quick, like the first Switch version that came out. But this one, the boards are like multi-leveled, they're in depth, so it's like it's big enough you can actually get lost. You're not on top of each other the entire fucking time, and it's not as fun.
You can make a very complex Mario Party level if you just added the first 3 from the first game and layered them.
Ooh. There you go.
Like a 3D chessboard, but layer it as you're hopping up and down, and it's like a free for all. Keep the same mini games just to keep it familiar. Don't change anything. Just
because they're still fun.
But stack them on top of each other, and then everything is like, hey, we added a new game. What is it called? Cone Crusher or fucking? I don't know what fucking Mario Party game is. Just something stupid.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Race to the bottom. Guess the price.
Yeah. The one that I played, I don't know which one it was, but it was one that you could do, like, I don't know, like Halloween kind of thing. You could make everything look haunted. And it was...
What was the system?
It was a Switch.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, I think it was probably yeah. Where there was just a haunted house board.
Yeah, but
and you could change like
looked,
day and night cycle. Yeah. Yep. That's the good one.
That's the one that I played.
Yeah,
I liked it.
That one I have put so much time and money into. This looks like that on steroids.
Okay,
so it's going to be a good one.
And I liked the idea of that game, but as a I don't have to invest in a story. I don't have to invest in characters. I don't have to remember. how many zombies do I have to shoot today?
You just get in and play.
Yeah, you just get in and play and be brainless for a minute.
Yep.
And just roll dice and it's fine.
It's so fun.
Meanwhile, I'm over here. I'm like, I gotta protect my NPC's family because he died in my arms because I let him get killed by a dire wolf, and I'm just like, I can't let his family starve.
But you have also the same thing where you farm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but then I'm over here being like, I have to use this jackhammer to get the chain chomp out of the ground.
Exactly.
And then, last but not least, the one that definitely caught the internet by storm, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh yeah.
Chris, take it away.
It looks fucking perfect. It's a top-down, old-school Zelda. It looks like the redo of Link's Awakening.
That's right.
It looks perfect, and you're
So
playing
and again, sorry, not to interrupt you. I just literally said take it away.
Yeah.
However, I can't help but bring up the fact that we're having a Star Wars prequel moment with this game. Because when this art style initially came out on the GameCube, everyone shit on it so hard, hated it. Everyone has been praising the art style this time around.
I think the only reason it got shit on the first time is because this is a GameCube and it's supposed to be on par with a PlayStation 2 and an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
They are putting out realistic games like Last of Us, Resident Evil, Halo, and they're putting it games with texture, and they're fucking awesome. And then kids got fucking Wind Waker that looked like a goddamn cartoon. They did not like that shit. They got, at the tail end of the life of the GameCube, they got Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
And it ported over to the Wii, which pissed a lot of motherfuckers off. So yeah, they dropped the ball then. This, they created the masterpiece that is Breath of the Wild, and they created the sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, of Zelda with Tears of the Kingdom. Those two games are perfect. 10 out of 10. This is back to a top-down puzzle fucking melee game.
Fun game.
Fun game.
The other was intense and story driven. This
is why I think they released Minish Cap. This is why I think they released Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Link DX, Link's Awakening DX, Link to the Past,
and now Four Swords.
I think they prepared everybody for the new top-down game.
Smart.
It's going to look like that. And as much as the open world of the two new Zelda games are, and how beautiful and storytelling's fucking perfect, the gameplay is fucking awesome. You can do whatever you really want to do. And for Nintendo to make that is astonishing, with Rockstar over here making Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, making sandbox games that are perfect. And with an online community that's so fucking revered, and Xbox making the best multiplayer games of the last 20 fucking years almost.
Yeah.
This is incredible for them to come back just to be like, hey, this is a game we think you'll love. It's a fluff game by any means, but it's going to be the best goddamn fluff game we're going to make in the next 5 years.
And we hadn't even mentioned the coolest part.
You play as fucking Zelda.
For the very first time!
Well, like, first time, but like...
whatever.
But like,
I'm not that invested in the lore, okay? I genuinely thought it was the first time. Stop it.
I heard the nerd crescendo.
Actually. But
okay, fine.
But this is a Zelda-only game.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic. It's cartoony. It's a puzzle game for one. It's the Dungeons game that brings you back to the original first 1, 2, 3, 4 Zelda games. So yeah, it's going to be that. You have to think on your toes playing this game, just like you did with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But it's just a top-down game. It looks cool as shit. I think they'll port that over to Smash Brothers when another Smash Brothers comes out, which we'll probably announce next year. Which I think would be smart because the Switch 2 would probably be out by then.
And it looks like it's coming out on my birthday, September 26th.
Oh, yeah.
And a quick little synopsis. It says, the people of Hyrule are being stolen away by strange rifts that have been appearing, with a mysterious swordsman among them being missing. Team up with the mysterious fairy tree, or T-R-I, tree?
Triforce.
Tri?
Yeah.
Okay, and then use the power of the Tri-Rod to create echoes, limitations of things found within the environment. So it seems as if you're kind of using the environment as your tools.
Yeah, you can
and shit
duplicate You can duplicate whatever. You can make a carbon copy to whatever.
Yeah, it says recreate those echoes whenever you'd like to help solve those puzzles and defeat your enemies.
If you want to get on top of the hill, copy a fucking chair, make 40 fucking chairs to stand on.
Use echoes of water blocks to reach new heights.
Oh, yeah.
Make bridges out of old beds. Throw rocks at foes and find your own creative combination of echoes to do it your own way.
Yeah, so it's a puzzle solving dungeon, but now you're given the reins to figure it out yourself. There's probably 100 fucking ways to solve it. Mm-hmm. Choose one of those. Figure it out.
Yeah, looking at the screenshots here, the art on it really does look really good.
Yeah,
it almost looks like action figures.
Yeah.
Like it's got a certain slickness to it.
Yeah, it's got a weird like Animal Crossing look to it, I think.
Hey, 90s girls, it looks like a Polly Pocket.
Yeah, it kind of does actually. It looks like Polly Pocket.
Yeah. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Didn't mean it in a bad way.
No, that's a good description though. But like it's on par, not par, but it's in the same realm as the Peach game.
Oh yeah, the Princess Peach game coming out.
Yeah, so let's take the characters who are mainstays and give them their own game.
Yeah.
Like we gave Yoshi Island, we gave Yoshi his own fucking game. Let's give Princess Peach a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Donkey Kong's got a game.
Yeah, well, I'll give Diddy Kong a game in Donkey Kong Country 2. You know in Donkey Kong Country 3, where's the other one, the sister, I forget, Didi.
Yes.
Didi. And like,
it took a second. I'm like,
but like, let's give them their own games. One, it's to test the market. Mm-hmm. Two, it's to test the peripherals of the fucking system. Hey, when we ported the Super Mario World into the Game Boy, the characters play differently.
Yep.
Luigi stays up in the air a little bit longer. Peach slows down. Mario is pretty much OP as fuck. And like, you just beat the game with him. Who gives a shit about the rest of them?
That's what I did. I always played the game with Luigi. I loved his jumping mechanics.
Yeah, and like, that was a way to test it. And this is another way to do that. Like, let's test the mechanics. She does have an alter ego in the story of all Zelda games as Sheik.
Sheik, yes. The only reason I know that is because of Melee.
Yeah. So that'll probably be brought in as part of the game. She'll probably transform to Sheik as a part of Echo's whatever. Mm-hmm. But no, it looks fantastic. It's probably one of the games I'll buy probably tail end of the year, not September, but probably Christmas time.
Right.
Because I'm probably going to get fucking Echoes or Metroid.
Oh, you want the Metroid game before the Zelda game?
Because I want to see how a first-person shooter works on a fucking Switch. Because all the other ones I've played till now suck.
See, what's the release date on that one?
But no, Zelda looks perfect. It's campy as fuck looking, which is cool.
You might still have to get the Zelda game first. This is a TBA 2025.
That's fine.
So
I'll get a Switch 2. I don't care. Get a Switch 2. Get a 3 gold star subscription. Get every fucking one. They'll probably send me a fucking jacket.
Don't make fun of my jacket, motherfucker. It's awesome.
It won't be black and silver. It'll be red and gold. They have a fucking 1-up patch engraved on it.
I'll just make you a custom one.
Yeah, just make me a custom. Open it up. It says D's nuts.
God. Well, out of any of these, have any of these games interested you at all outside of the Mario Party game, Cristy?
I did. To quote my dear loving father, what I know about Zelda could be stuffed in an amoeba's ass. But it looks really neat.
Right? Like I said, the art style looks cool.
I know that the people that listen to y'all and look at the fistful of quarters are going to hate me because I know Zelda fans can be rabid and violent.
Look, I've talked shit about Zelda the entire time and I'm still okay, so.
But it does look like a neat game. And a bunch of my kids last semester were all about Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. And they would come in because, yes, even I, with my limited knowledge of Zelda, ran the video game club at our school. Because they were all excited because you're one of the only teachers that actually talks about video games that knows something about them. Can you run the video game club? Sure.
Why not? I only do a million other things around here. Why not?
You should do a phone a friend.
I should have.
Just call me when I'm waking up. I'm like, what do you want to know about Street Fighter?
I was going to say, I hope you run the video game club. Shit.
Well, it's not a thing anymore, but
it can be. We'll king of the hill this shit. Be like, if a kid has a game controller in their hand, or both hands, they can't use drugs.
I mean, that's a good idea.
And then all of a sudden, Chris just pops around the corner. Alex,
they're still
if they want to still do the drugs bad enough to put the controller down.
Yeah.
Well, the kid that created it graduated. But the whole reason he wanted to create it was he was playing some Dragon Ball Z game.
Oh, Tenchi Budokai 3.
Anyway.
Mikey is listening to this and he's like, yeah,
Yes.
that fucking piece of shit.
Anyway. The Mario Party game looked really good.
Yeah.
There were a couple that you mentioned that actually look really cool. Again, I do not have a Switch. But, yeah, they looked okay. They'll be interesting. I mean, if you guys start to play and I'm down here, I might take a shot and you can totally laugh and that's
You can
fine.
borrow mine. I can't play that and Xbox at the same time.
Yeah.
Sure you can, McGee.
You got working toes, don't you?
Yeah, just me fucking fumbling around trying to kill fucking Gus Fring and Far Cry 6 while they're playing fucking Mario RPG. I'm just like, fuck, I didn't press the A button fast enough. God damn it, crack. And just snap it in half.
My next major video game purchase I need to make is Super Mario Wonder. I really want to play that.
It looks good.
I think I might break down.
Mom has it.
Oh, she has the one with Bowser's Castle.
Yeah, that's Bowser's Fury. That's a little different.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a double game. It's a double album.
It's a double album?
Yeah, basically it's a double game.
Bowser's Fury and what's the other one?
Super Mario 2D Land. Yeah.
When I went to the store and got the Switch, I told the person that worked at the store, I said, I need the Mario game that looks as close to the old Mario as you can get. And that's the one they gave me.
I can get you one that looks a little closer.
I'll bring my Switch over and we'll play Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, and I'll let her have a fucking heart attack.
There you go.
Every time you do that, she gets so stressed.
She's like, how are you jumping the land? It was muscle fucking memory, bro. Like,
But I would say, on that note, that has been a fat 2-hour episode of the Couch Potatoes. Cristy, again, thank you so much for joining us and providing your excellent commentary on books and rocks and everything else.
And power outages.
And if you guys want to join up in the Discord, we would love to have you in there. Click that link in the episode description and make sure you're checking out our YouTube page for those Fistful of Quarters episodes. We took a little break on doing that. I have a couple ideas for some solo gameplays I'd like to do. Chris and I kind of had a couple failed attempts at a few where games just really weren't working out, so we tried a recording day and it just really didn't turn out the way we needed it to turn out, so we'll try that again at a future date. And as I've teased at the end of episodes before, I've kind of held off on doing one of my playthroughs because it's a GameCube game, and even though I can play that through my Switch and get content from it, Eric has been like supercharging my GameCube to where it's going to be like the ultimate video capture GameCube. So I'm holding off on all these GameCube games I want to play and record until I get the fucking souped up GameCube that he's been working so hard to get ready for us.
I still have all those Star Wars games for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
With the working Super Nintendo that I haven't played yet.
So we've got a bunch of stuff that we can run through and play. So if you guys have any suggestions for us, let us know in the Discord, because I'm having fun. I want to do this some more, and as long as you guys are watching, that's the main reason we do it. But for this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex, and Chris, do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
So Cristy told me to shut the fuck up at one of these antique places because I found a
I had good reason.
I found a racist book.
Anyway, have a good night.
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.